Yeah.
Kodo bien long kwa duntanu account dol kono mo fula ya tala Watson Gambia post kodo nyin labante nyaadi atollem nyaaton ko dije kodo murtale fama muru.
Okay, abaraka bake ka senendir ke o nyiningar ke o kulla birin nata in April 2024 ninna man sakunda ngana mem maratan na fankola because mfane man sakunda so dole think of any position.
You're Minister of Finance.
Okay. So nga fa ko mako union or account over dawda because sometimes kamen sort of like nim bank so lafta kam mako iba fala nyela ko ala account yele with trust bank example so that free kodo nyin kenyeje so but nga main account sort of le me alon ko mo ajib bank lati o metale o manke biti so na finance minister another fonyo ko Mr. President ngamira account sort of la carry trust bank but ning account ode mo fulala mo signatory tije andola luwa bugo e me yitandi na constitutional be maratan tela kata fonna last person auditor general president finance minister and his secretary general wala mo signatory to this account any other account among a union or account but as far as union is for the students you must have for the clarity of for the public as well so another for you carry wala mo signatory. So another for go okay.
And they are former students.
And they are former students.
Okay.
So another for you go okay. Nkai ko saying mbamuna kela. Nkai ko from your finance perspective, what do you think? Ila miraro mo munati on this matter. Akonye now let's take our time. Nkai ko now the union will write to the bank requesting for the statement. Ngalong kodo dunta le lunjumala. Jumalle I withdraw adunda nyadile because because as the president I authorize all the spending of the union. Hana atara finance committee discuss. I will have to look at the budget, trim it to the best approach that will not disturb the accounts of the union because donor fatigue bekeri and sometimes resource mobilization kake problem already. And the union is pushing or punching below its weight economically when it comes to this situation. So now, let's print the bank statement. So we then print out the bank statement, and it was unfortunate. So I reached out to these two individuals. In fact,
why was it unfortunate?
Unfortunate, like
you say when you print out the statement, it was unfortunate. Why was it unfortunate?
That monies were withdrawn from this account.
Okay, good.
Unauthorized. So
you reach out to?
I reach out. Ngani more will reach out because I know two of them at personal level. So I go we print bank statement na print out nga realize ko kodo withdraw tanyong account o konole.
And how much are we talking about?
1 million.
Okay.
You understand?
That was which year? Kabrita nara drongo.
Birinda natale.
And this was this year, April.
It was this year. In fact, 1 month when we came to council, 1 month after we detected this.
Okay.
So I reached out to them to tell them, but at that point in time, they were insisting that everything went through normal procedure. But all we know for sure is that the signatories to the accounts are the president, secretary, and the finance minister. So then this is
so now these two people, what were their positions the time that they were in the union?
Gender and Health Minister and also the Auditor General.
Which means and they have no business in being signatories.
Sure.
Okay.
So according to them, they got advice from the person who initiated this endowment fund account, Professor Jibril Fall. He's a professor in London School of Economy. He's the one who came with the idea because universities around the world, there is what we call endowment fund account, where the alumni every year will come, put something there so that, they can multiply it in a form of investment. And also because at the end of the day, the intention is to have the account, in fact, transferred to the central bank so that it can generate, as time goes on, interest. So according to them, that Professor Jibril Fall said, let them create a committee to have this endowment fund managed. But for posterity and for the records, even whereas a committee is to be set, is in our constitution that the union president, the finance minister, and the secretary general still remains signatories. I can even establish a committee on matters. And if it is finance, the finance committee will advise the president, because we have a whole system. I have a legal advisor on matters like this, especially if you don't understand. So as we proceed, according to them, that Professor Jibril Fall said, let them, do this. But we had a meeting with Prof. Jibril Fall that very day, where the Auditor General was present, myself was present. Then Professor Jibril Fall was not aware that the money was withdrawn. He was in limbo. You understand? So during the meeting, he purposely, came to the Gambia to see how best they can multiply, like attracting investors. In fact, according to him, that he was able to pursue one guy, an investor, a businessman, to donate an amount of $1 million. So during the meeting, the Auditor General was present, and he presented the bank statement. But then we already had our copy, and he said he then signed checks, open checks. Then he was posted to Makati, and therefore he could not, because the money is meant for investment. And in fact, they've assigned a chairperson for this endowment fund account, who will be managing and investing the money into an economic gain for the union. So when he explained the whole matter, and then, Professor Jibril Fall was briefed. But then that was a closed-door meeting. We had to leave to meet the Vice Chancellor, the Director of Relations, myself as the union rep, and also a woman that I don't know, and Professor Jibril Fall with his colleague. So then it was put to Professor Jibril Fall and the Vice Chancellor. It was a shock, to be honest, and it was disappointing. And what Professor Jibril Fall told me, I'm on camera, is a theft case, and theft cases must be reported to police. And therefore, he tapped me on my back that, Mr. President, this money belongs to the university students. In fact, we roll out a semesterly tuition fee assistance to underprivileged students. Last year it was 50, and this time around we increase it to 100. And sometimes
100 students.
100 students. And this time around, in fact, not only that, the union keeps on writing commitment undertakings. Especially myself, I do that a lot, whereby I will write an undertakings on behalf of a student that cannot even pay that 40%, 7,500 to be able to register his.
So were you able to report the matter?
So what happened here, we then, because what the Vice Chancellor told Professor Jibril Fall, that we cannot go to police just like that. The union have its operational arms. It's a student matter. We have a National Assembly, we have a judicial sector, we have our Electoral Commission, we have our legal advisors. So now the union is tasked to open an investigation. And we do that in a jiffy by writing to the legislative body to open an investigation onto this matter.
Why you not very bureaucracy? Jesus Christ!
You have lawyers there, you have police officers there.
Exactly. Did you get the money back? Thank God. We did not, as we are speaking right now, we report back to the students about the progress made. And in fact, I will supply you with the report that we supply.
Are you able to get the money?
Yes. We got at least 300 and something.
From who?
From one party, that is
the one in the Gambia.
The one in US.
Okay.
He paid 300,000.
300 and something. If you can permit me, I can come.
So the bottom line is they accept that.
But it's over 300,000.
Okay.
But it's over 300,000.
Yeah.
So what about the one in the Gambia? He didn't pay anything.
So the one in the Gambia, did not pay anything, and we gave them deadlines.
And what is this deadline?
The deadline has elapsed.
That's what I want to
So now, in the reports made by the legislative body, because in section 44 of the union says if reports are sent to the union for implementation, failure to implement will call for an impeachment. And I will not want to be
impeachment of the implementing body.
Yes.
Okay.
I will be impeached as the union president.
And you don't want to be impeached? Yes.
I do not.
Yeah.
I rather resign than to be impeached.
impeached.
So we received the report, implemented it, and we gave them timelines. So when this timeline elapsed, in the report, it stated that if these people are not compliant or they do not meet in paying all this amount of money mentioned in the endowment fund account, then we can take the matter to the central government.
The police.
That is by engaging the police on the matter. And that is the current situation that we are. And thank God that our legal advisor is a police prosecutor and also a university student. And he's helping us a lot. I want to thank him for his foresight in terms of what we do and what we don't do and the protocols that we should follow. It's too bureaucratic, and to me, bureaucratic is an impediment to certain developments. But however, I think we also need to follow the due process, no matter how the situation is.
Okay.
So this is the entire thing about the endowment.
Okay, so we can say more than 300,000 is paid. You can check the amount so that you know the exact amount. More than 300,000 is paid by one individual, and Wole Mimbe Gambe Bantala.
Exactly.
The one that is out of the country.
Yeah.
And the one that is here, who is the auditor general, didn't pay anything for now.
Yeah.
And of course, the deadline has elapsed.
Yeah.
And the matter has been forwarded to the police.
Yes.
To the police.
So, and again, it was not only 1 million for the records, because I'm on camera.
The money was more than 1 million.
54,000 was also mentioned, which according to the reports of the legislative body, it was an unauthorized spending. You understand? So,
another 54 on top of the 1 million.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we put all those things, in, and those 13,000, because we divided the amount of money, to these individuals, and to hold them liable for this money as well. But as we speak now, the matter is we are now pushing it to the police for the law to take its due process onto the matter, and as the union, so that we can also report, because whatever we do, we want to inform the public. Though sometimes it's a bit challenging, for university students to read information as well, especially if you share a dispatch. Sometimes we now understand that when we are writing to them, we have to attach it with a graphic design that will speak volume about the information that we are sharing. Because the longer the dispatch, the less interest.
If reading is a problem for university students, then we have a problem.
No, I mean dispatch. Information.
So, okay.
Anyways.
Until you saw the phone call after happening. So,
but let me just clarify something. This amount you're talking about, the 1 million and then the 54,000 or whatever, when put together, has any interest been added onto it so that when they pay with some interest? And before you even answer that, which year was this money withdrawn from the account that we're talking about?
It was 19 Executive Council, so we'll say in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, but the last withdrawal was
so it was withdrawn
November
in bits.
27, November 23rd, 2023. The 1
so
million
basically it
even
was in bits within a period of
so
time.
even in the bank statement, you can see there were electronic withdrawals through e-bankings.
Abba.
You understand?
So they had access to internet banking.
Which means, in fact, it's sometimes I think the banks also are not helping, because, okay, today the union accounts that the president have right to a mobile app as a signatory. I do not need
and mobile app just to view transactions or to effect transaction, because these are all things that you can put in there.
Exactly. So what happened is we realized that, there were several withdrawals through app. If it will all reflect on your bank statement as well.
Yeah.
So the bank statement has clearly shown every transactions, starting from the day that the money was deposited into the account up to the last day, 2023, November 27, the last $1 million he was withdrawn. And in fact, this was just at the corner. I was surprised because I saw the guy before he traveled to US. You understand? I met with him, we shook hands, not only to realize that
why would you be surprised? Your killer can shake your hand. Jesus ate dinner with Judas.
Yeah.
Take and receive the highest advance already. So it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
But again, let me just say something. I don't think the bank should be blamed. The bank, what they call the mandate card, it's what governs everything else.
Yeah.
At the time of opening an account, whatever you miss, right, becomes a problem. Exactly, because they have a mandate card. So if the mandate card say that 3 of us signs, at any point in time, any two to sign, if we sign, the bank will authorize it.
Exactly.
And when you have, it's not an individual account. And these are the measures, that you put in place. This is not an individual account that you say, I can use an ATM card or internet banking. Internet banking to view statements, to view transaction, to get alerts. But to effect transaction, transfer, it has to go also through the signatories because these banks have all those things.
Yeah.
The way check goes to 2-3 people for you to sign for transaction to be effected, the online banking also has those features. It has to go to the initiator, the reviewer, the approval before the transaction is effected. But all those authorities are given at the time of opening the bank, or changes can be done at some point in time, but through the right authority. Okay. So if that is done, the bank will effect any payment, anyhow. That is not their problem or whatever. So those things have to be.
Those two were together.
Those things have to be. Yeah, exactly. I have seen a political party that has an ATM card and one person had it and just spending anyhow.
Which political party is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows about that.
I'm not saying CA. I know of a political party.
No, CA.
Thank you.
I'm not saying CA.